Let's jump into our module of the week, which, Mike, I think you know intimately, if I am
Yes.
not mistaken. Tell us a little bit about Quicklink.
All right. So Quicklink, the Quicklink module integrates in the Quicklink JavaScript library. And so the Quicklink JavaScript library is this like little tiny little bit of JavaScript that's developed by the Google Chrome Labs team, and it does a bunch of cool stuff. Like what it does is it will look at all of the hyperlinks on your page, and it'll do what's called like a preload. So it'll kind of scan the page, and it'll tell the browser to, when it gets the chance, pull those down and cache them. So what that means is when you click on those hyperlinks, it's kind of an instantaneous page load because those pages are cached. So it has a whole bunch of really cool options in there. Like you can tell this library to like ignore certain pages. You could say ignore URLs that have a certain type of pattern to them, or ignore URLs that have a class. So you could do all types of cool stuff. So the module basically provides a UI for all those options, and it also provides like a debug interface where you can check a little box that says debug this, and it'll throw on like a bunch of little icons to say you're pulling this one down, you're not pulling this one down, and I'll put some stuff into the browser console. Um, and it's just like super cool. I kind of put it on all the sites that I've worked on, and it makes things very quicker and happier for the end user. I'm a big kind of front end performance geek, and this kind of makes things quicker. And it's been around for maybe about 2.5, 3 years. I got like almost full test coverage on it. It's pretty reliable. It supports Drupal 8, 9, and it'll support Drupal 10 when Drupal 10 is coming out. And yeah, has about like over 2,000 installs.
Mike, is
Oh,
it
nice.
loading any link on a page, or is it just the same domain links on a page? So, like, if I had a
So
link to Nick's website, would it background load Nick's website as well?
that's a great question. So it has a lot of sensible defaults. So by default, it will only load stuff on the same domain, and also only loads when you're not authenticated. There's a checkbox to load while you're authenticated if you want to. It won't load if you have a session. Like, let's say you're using Drupal Commerce and there's like some session, it won't load because that can kind of hurt some performance, or like peg the origin, the origin server or something like that. So those are all configurable options. If you do, it will not load the log out link. So say like if you have it
Oh,
configured to load while you're logged in, it's not going to load the log out link because that would be funny. Um,
I'm sure
it,
you hit that. I'm sure you had to
yeah,
find that.
yeah, has a whole bunch of like really interesting things in there. You can add on query parameter, like query string parameters, to disable it too, or things like that. So
Hmm,
yeah.
I mean,
sounds useful.
is there a possibility that it could like clear cache if you have it working as an admin when you're logged in? Like, is it going through the admin menu and loading all of those pages when you're
So if you have it loaded as an admin, that's a good question. I'm not really quite sure. I believe the clear cache is an actual the button that says clear cache is an actual like input type submit. So
Hmm.
it's only gonna pull down like the hyperlinks. But that being said, I believe there within the latest version there is a limit. I don't know what the limit is by default, but it will limit it to like a certain amount of items, and it also only loads stuff that's currently in the viewport. So like let's say you have like a whole bunch of links, it's not going to load those until you scroll down and they show up in the viewport.
Got it?
Okay.
Well, that sounds cool, and that sounds like it probably helps with site viewing and performance quite a bit.
Yeah, it really does, and we use it on a lot of sites. Like as you know, I used to work for Lullabot. We use it on lullabot.com. We use it on tons of cool stuff. So yeah,
Once you left, they probably removed it.
I would if I were them.
Yeah. Well,
I would
it's
like,
only, it's only
do a git
logical.
log of all the stuff that I committed, immediate revert.
Ooh. Moving right along. Let's move